Hey folks, this is Kalani. A big hotfix just went live that changes how experience works in dungeons, and it's gonna leave some dungeon runners with drastically slower leveling speeds. This week also happens to be one of the best weeks to farm reputation thanks to so many bonuses stacking on top of each other, so we have a couple things to talk about. Let's sit down, have a chat and break it all down. Real quick before we jump in, be sure to pop by our live stream sometime over at twitch.tv/Kalani TV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, and we always love chatting with you wonderful folks, so I hope to see you soon. Let's kick things off by talking about the big change to how dungeon experience works after the most recent round of hotfixes. For some folks, this is going to be a humongous nerf, and for others, it's not going to change too much at all. Blizzard recently changed experience gains from dungeons so they no longer scale. Previously, you split the experience between everyone in the party, and dungeons were typically balanced around having a full party of 5 players to split that experience 5 ways. But what if you don't have 5 players? What if you could actually solo these dungeons by yourself? Well, then you would get 5 times the normal experience because you wouldn't be sharing it with anyone. Soloing dungeons for experience hasn't been a great way to level for a while. The experience gains are offset by how long it takes you, usually. But what if you had just one extra person along for the ride? And what if that person could actually solo everything by themselves because that person was actually carrying you through the dungeon? That's something that definitely is not new. Dungeon boosting has been around for as long as dungeons have been, it just changed with the times. The most popular dungeon boost for Battle for Azeroth has been the freehold boosting. Lots of mobs, lots of experience, and a very convenient route. Freehold boosting allowed for some incredibly fast leveling because you didn't have to share that experience load with anyone else. But freehold boosting has been around for forever at this point, so why the dungeon experience changes now? Well, a few other boosts were brought to life in dungeons thanks to the scaling changes with a pre-patch level squish and chromie time, which allowed max level players to carry low level characters through dungeons incredibly quickly with insane leveling speeds, much faster than what freehold was allowing us to achieve. That's probably the main reason the dev team decided enough is enough, but instead of changing something to specifically target the quick dungeon boosts going on, they just nerfed the entire mechanic behind dungeon boosting in general. Instead of experience being split between everyone in a group, now you just get a static amount of experience in your dungeons equal to what you would have gotten previously if you had a full party. So it doesn't matter if you're solo, if you have 2 players, 4 players or 5 players in that group, you as an individual player will always get the same experience now, and the value is about equal to what you would have gotten if you were in a full party. So there is no reason to run a dungeon with less than a full party with these changes in place. That means there's no experience benefit to soloing dungeons or even doing it with 4 players, and no experience benefit while you're being boosted in dungeons. Dungeon boosting was an incredibly quick way to get your alts caught up to speed, and I guess the dev team just don't want to carry that activity forward into the Shadowlands expansion. The good news here is that if you're just trying to level through dungeons normally, queuing up and clearing them as a group of 5 without any weird shenanigans or boosting going on, this change shouldn't affect you whatsoever. You were getting experience as a full group previously, and you will still get the experience as a full group going forward. So really all this change does is remove incentives for dungeon boosting and close a few scaling loopholes that players were using to level incredibly quickly in chromie time. I wonder if dungeon boosting as an activity will actually survive this change though. Reducing the experience doesn't remove the speed factor of boosting. You can still clear the dungeon faster if you have a player who is capable of boosting you, but now you can boost 4 players at once without any negative impact because they would all get the same experience whether they were alone in the boosted dungeon or in a full party in the boosted dungeon. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but the main takeaway here is that if you weren't getting boosted, if that's not what you were doing whatsoever, dungeon experience is more or less business as usual. Still a bit slower than questing, more or less, but it can still get you to 50 relatively quickly, and it's a nice break from questing. If that's how you want to level the rest of your alt roster, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Now, on the flip side, if you were heavily relying on boosting in dungeons, either as a form of gold making by selling the boosts, or just to level your alts very quickly, you're probably going to have to find something else to do because Blizzard just hammered boosting into the ground. Now, if you've got all of your alts ship shape and ready to go, there is something else you could take advantage of this week. The World Quest weekly event has rolled around again, and seeing as Shadowlands was delayed and the impressive influence buff is still persisting for now, this means you can earn some seriously bonkers reputation from World Quests this week. Whether you need to catch up on some Battle for Azeroth reps for achievements like Pathfinder and unlocking flying for Battle for Azeroth zones, or maybe you just want an extra few reputations up at Exalted to work towards some of those larger meta achievements like earn 100 Exalted reputations, this week is the week to get some of that stuff done. A large reputation bonus like this means you get way more reputation for the effort you put in. So even if you just knock out a couple world quests here and there to start working towards some of these things, it's going to pay off time-wise in the end. Even if you don't grind out the full thing right now, just getting started, you're going to get more value for your time. You can earn mounts, titles, pets, tabouts, transmog, achievement points, you name it. All of the Legion reps are covered by the impressive influence buff as well, so don't limit yourself to just BFA factions. If you still need or want some rewards from Paragon boxes from either BFA or Legion, this is also a great time to squeeze out some extra rep for those goodies. Paragon boxes can be one of the most frustrating things to try and earn something from, but the only way you're going to increase your chances of actually getting your rewards is to earn more boxes. That sounds like a really horribly gambling pitch, but sadly it's true. Legion Paragon boxes can contain mounts, and Battle for Azeroth boxes can contain rank 4 essences. Yes, even still. Apparently, we thought all of them would be unobtainable in pre-patch because Blizzard said that's what would happen, and they included a snippet in the pre-patch notes that literally stated rank 4 essences will no longer be obtainable, but I guess Blizzard either changed their mind or just forgot about them, because quite a few rank 4 essences are in fact still dropping for players, including the ones you can get from Paragon rep boxes. Again, not sure if that's a bug or intended, but it looks like rank 4 essences are actually still on the table for now. If you want to stretch your rep gains even further, you can also pick up the Hallow's End buff from the Undercity or Stormwind, depending on your faction of course. Just interact with the bonfire, smear some ashes on your face if you're the Horde, because I guess they have to do that, metal and things, and you'll get another 10% bonus to reputation gains. This isn't just for experience, not just for leveling, you can actually get some rep bonus here as well. So 50% for world quests from the weekly event, 100% from the impressive influence buff, which should last for a little while longer, and then another 10% from Hallow's End. It's worth noting that even though Hallow's End is going to end at the end of this week, the Dark Moon Fair will stroll into town to replace that 10% buff, so you can make use of that next week as well. But the real crazy rep grind is right now. So if you're struggling to find something to do, maybe take a look at some of your reps that haven't quite been finished off. Maybe there's some rewards there from Exalted. Maybe you just want the Exalted reputation to work towards some of those metas, as I talked about before. You get some pretty cool rewards for some of those meta achievements if you can manage to grind out enough reputations to actually earn them. But between Paragon boxes and actual rep rewards, there's a lot on offer, so while rep is easy to farm, why not have a look? You might find something you want. But that's it for this video. What do you think about the huge nerf to dungeon boosting? Do you think it's about time, or should they just have left it alone? Was it okay the way it was? And how are your Shadowlands preparations going? Have you got all of your alts up to 50 that you want to play? And do you have any reputation tasks left over that this week's big rep bonus will help you complete? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to help us get ready for Shadowlands, or just ask us a couple questions, you can find us over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, and watching the stream and coming to say hi is one of the best ways you can support the channel right now. And if you ever wanted to be included in the long list of names at the end of every video, a subscription on Twitch is the easiest way to make that happen. You get a free sub to any Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime too, so be sure to take advantage of that. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed on Twitch already and to our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, well, now you know how. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I'll see you next time.